Good morning, USA, and welcome to another episode of the Bernie or Bust Show. I have to say, I'm fired up today. I was watching Bernie on the Joe Rogan Experience last night, and I know why now. I always knew, but I especially know now why we need to fight for this man. Let me give you a taste of that experience.
When we talk about criminal justice in America, we have over 2 million people in jail. They are disproportionately African American, Latino, and Native American. And here's what I think. I think in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, what we have got to do, instead of building more jails and locking up more people, we really do have to invest in our young people, especially young people in distressed communities. What does that mean? If we can, and we can do this with a proper amount of resources, make sure the kids are not dropping out of school. If you drop out of school today, say you drop out in your second or third year of high school, you don't have an education, you don't have any job skills, what are you going to do with your life? And the answer is you may well do drugs, or you'll get in trouble, self-destructive activity or destructive activity, you're going to end up in jail. It makes so much more sense from a humane perspective, protecting our people, as well as a financial situation. We're spending $80 billion a year to invest in these kids. What does it mean? It means making sure they get the education that they need, paying attention, having good schools, making sure that they get the jobs that are out there, doing job training. There was a principal in a school in southern Vermont. I'll never forget what she said. It was a working class school. And she said, Bernie, I love these kids. I am not going to let them drop out. And she had a mentoring program, just watching the kids who are mostly at risk, so that they would not end up going through the cracks and getting into trouble. That's what we should be doing as a nation. And when we do that, we invest in the kids, we get them jobs, we get them education. The likelihood of them falling into bad ways is significantly reduced.
All those things.
You got to watch the rest. He goes on to talk about despair because Joe asks him about drug use, and that this format, Joe's format, where he has an hour, it is so wonderful that you can completely unpack some of these ideas, or at least in a lot better way than is done on the soundbite format on national television formats, national news shows. And what's lovely about this dialogue is that Joe brings up big social issues, big problems, deep problems, and Bernie traces them back to, just in the very next few minutes of this video, he traces it back to despair. He says a lot of these problems are rooted in despair. We have a lot of people in despair, and then they go on and talk about how that applies to so many of the goals and the visions that we all should have for the country and for the world. And so go watch the whole thing, the Joe Rogan Experience, number 1330. I'll put it in the information section below this video. Now, to the next topic, which is what do we do about it? Because we can watch Bernie and we can go to his rallies and we can even vote for him, but it's not enough. We need leverage. And that's where this Facebook group comes in. Revolt against Plutocracy rap sheet. We've got not lots of members, but if the members who are here of this Facebook group are all actively bumping posts, we don't even have to make new posts. We can just be actively bumping posts. We can be not nagging exactly, but we can be reminding in a very urgent way that people need to do more than just vote for Bernie. We need to spread the word that unless the comfortable Democrats know, there are only two choices. We have this crowded field of Democratic hopefuls, but if you do the math, there are not 15 choices. There are two choices, Bernie or Trump. The Bernie or Bust leverage movement already has enough people in it to make sure it's either Bernie or Trump. And the general population either won't admit it or isn't even aware of it. And so that's why, before the primaries start, we need to get this word in front of people over and over and over, whether we use a lawn sign or a bumper sticker or conversations at the water cooler, or all of those, T-shirts. We have a smaller amount of time than we think to get the word out. We need to put this in front of people. So this Facebook group, the book, Bernie or Bust, Pioneers of Electoral Revolt, we need to, I mean, sound bites and slogans are powerful, and we need a lot of that, but we also need a lot of people to understand the nuts and bolts of leverage and of, most of all, of neoliberalism. Why neoliberalism is more dangerous in many, many ways than Donald Trump. We have people just trying to vote against Trump. Being afraid of Trump is why we have Trump. So what we need to do is to let them know, we can guarantee you that you will have Trump unless you vote for Bernie. And that message, whether people want to hear it or not, is the truth. Sometimes the truth hurts. Revolt Against Plutocracy rap sheet. On the side of the group, we have files. Let me remind you again that hundreds and hundreds of Facebook groups are in these files. So we'll go to Facebook groups, sheet 1. And here are the groups. They're linked. These are not just names of groups. They're links, hot links. So you click on them and you go right to it. And then you go to search this group and you type in Tiffany or Howell. But Tiffany is more likely to bring up something. Okay, here is a bumper sticker, here is a pledge, and here is a book, all up there. Let's go with the pledge today. Click on that. Click on comment and type in http://bernieorbust.info or bust. Et voila! There it is. And what this does, besides advertising the book, it bumps the post. So when you go back out, you have to refresh the page. I noticed that on Victor's video. You can either click here to refresh the page, or you can go up here and refresh the page. And when you refresh the page, under the announcements, you'll see this post has been bumped. It's at the top. Now Victor's noticing that just having these rebumped posts at the top doesn't mean people will actually take the pledge. So if you can get in discussions with people on the Facebook groups, if you can do more than bump posts. You can go to all the posts that you can find. If you type, this is a new idea here. If you type into the search box, search this group. If you type bust, just the word bust, you'll sometimes find some old arguments. And most of them have Victor Tiffany right in the middle of them. There is our bernieorbust.info bumper sticker. Look at all these are because I typed in the word bust. There's me, lest you think I'm not busy too. And what you do, if you go through here and you see 2 comments, 4 comments, 5 comments, hopefully you'll see some of these I've noticed, 75 comments, 115 comments in other groups. And those are the ones to grab a hold of. You type on them, you type in something incendiary at the bottom, and then that comes 5 years or 3 years old or 2 years old, it comes back up to the top, and you can get people engaged again. And discussions, I think, are what will do it, will do the trick. Not just nagging, not just putting the information at the top of the groups, but actually engaging people. And that might mean going, not just typing in bust, but typing in anything, any topic you can think of, or just scrolling down through the whole group from the top and finding some conversations that seem to have a fruitful conversation or a potentially fruitful conversation. Go through and engage people, get them riled up, Ask them, are you pissed yet? When Tom Perez does something nasty, and it's going to happen, I guarantee you it's going to happen, people are going to be looking around for some way to do something about that. And Bernie or Bust is a great way to hold Tom Perez's feet to the fire, to hold the DNC's feet to the fire. Third Way, Center for American Progress, all these think tank people, all of the big money people, all of the transnational corporations and central bankers and hedge fund managers, all of them are threatened by Bernie or Bust. So when people get upset with the rigging that's inevitably going to be revealed, because it's already happening, but something big is going to hit the news, and people are going to be so upset. And then we need to be ready. We need to show them, okay, you have energy, you have anger. This is how you focus your energy. This is how you focus your passion and your zeal for what Bernie is trying to do. Go on this group, recruit your friends to go on this group, start bumping posts and start engaging in conversations about how we can unrig the system and get Bernie Sanders the nomination. That's all I got for now. Unshaved, unbathed, unedited, unscripted, coffeeed up, and ready to go.